Hello everybody, welcome. I'm Noo02. Thank you for watching this video. This is our third part in a three-part series that I'm calling Riding the Rail, where I spend a lot of time and effort trying to discover if it's worth running along the rail lines here on Bright Sands. Part 1 was dig site the comms tower, part 2 was around base camp mountainside, and now we're at the crashed drill site. And if you haven't seen part 1 or part 2, there is some significant discoveries, some unreachable terrain that we can actually reach, and you can only do so by running along the rail in the jungle. Here, at this crashed drill site, there is some very powerful locations, I think, as you can tell, right here, where we can set up very, very sneaky angles, we can hide, we can stash gear in unreachable locations, as well as defend the laser drill site, which I will talk about in a little bit here. One thing to note, on the maps, the rail lines appear to be completed. They are not. They are filled with tons of gaps, destruction, incompleted rail lines. Do not let the maps deceive you. We're going to be focusing on this area quite a bit, and then I'll show you how to ride the final half around the vaccine labs and things like that. For the most part, though, when it comes to the science campus, there's no reason to walk the line from science campus to vaccine labs. No reason at all. We won't be going there. Next, the line in front of us right here, over there at base camp, there is no reason to run that line from base camp to over here. No reason at all. You're out in the open, nice and exposed. Being on the ground is much, much safer and just as fast. There's literally no advantage. And I will show you how we get up here. Funny enough, we don't actually need the rail system to get up here at all. Don't need it to get up here at all. In fact, I'm sorry, before we even show you that, we need to show you something significant over here first. We're going to start from the beginning. Follow me on this little journey here. There is a laser drill site here that has a chance to spawn. In the tutorial, it never seems to spawn, but this is a laser drill site where the giant laser comes down from the sky and everyone can see it and hear it, and it provides epic loot. So I thought, oh, wouldn't it be great to be able to get some of this awesome high ground, potentially help defend your drill, give a different angle to it. Now, we can't do anything with the rail as far as verticality goes here. It's too far away from this rock. But what I discovered is that you can actually climb on top of this tree, or in the center of the tree. When you mantle, I just sort of let go of the controls. I don't want to move forward at all. So use mantle, places you right here consistently. You jump and go forward just a little bit. Jump and go forward. Mantle on this rock. And this is about as far as we can go. Running around on this side here doesn't give us anything. We're sort of hit a dead end. A jump you can't really make. And things like that. But this is actually a great spot. Look how concealed we are. We're in the trees. And we don't have particularly great angles over here in this general direction. And if you're probably moving around, or if you're shooting your gun and flashing, right, getting the muzzle flash, people will probably be able to see you. We move over here, though, of course, and for the most part, it's pretty dark. People really shouldn't be able to see you. So we got some cheeky angles here, as well as being able to hide in the cover and hold over here. Keep in mind, the laser drill site is going to be going on, potentially blocking some of this view. But it just gives us an alternative angle with some cover in the element of surprise. So this could be a potentially really good spot to have alternative angles when defending your drill site. You can have one player or one or two players over here, and you can be hiding, waiting for the right moment to step out and ambush players who are maybe trying to push up the ramp and things like that. Pretty neat idea, I think. And of course, we can then jump back onto the rail. Beyond this stuff over here doesn't really yield any fruit as well. Nothing too significant over here. So technically, we could get a different angle, but there's just no line of sight because of the bushes, things like that. Onto the peak here. Now, in particular, we really shouldn't be running on the rail up to this point, just because being on the ground is safer. you may want to consider getting onto the rail right here so that you can run the rail onto the second floor of the East Collections point. Things like that. As you can see, let me demonstrate more clearly. We're at this stone brick here. This little ledge right here is where we can climb up. Where we can climb up and just mantle up. Right, now we're going to mantle on top of these rocks here. And you might have to spam jump some of these to comfortably get on top, because they're a little sloped. Now we're jumping over there behind the tree. This rock is walkable. This walk is a ramp, we can just walk up it. And then up here at the sort of slope side, we spam jump, get on top. And now we're up here. Huge, tremendous angles. Remember the laser drill site. Not only is this a great ambush spot, lots of line of sight to snipe and do things, throw audio grenades, a group of chads come up and we can potentially ambush them from up here and things like that. Also, too, we have this angle to potentially protect this whole area while our laser drill is going on. We have two players who are looking over there toward the southwest. We can potentially just cover their flank, give them information, let them know, because we can see all of the alternative paths that players would be taking to get on this side of the drill. We can see all of it. Kind of cool. Not only that, look at this. They're going to get nestled into this little rock area. Not that much. Don't get that nestled. Don't get that nestled in. But look, again, tree cover, different angles. We can see into this river a little bit, and flank anybody who tries to walk up to our laser drill and things like that. A lot of potential for this high ground, I think. A lot of potential. Now, very clearly, I think the devs did not intend for us to be up here. Got angles on all of this as well. Potentially some sniper angles on this extract. Extract gets called. A lot of people like to tend to just hide, like in a corner over there. A corner against the box. We can actually climb up here and get an immediate angle on them and things like that. Onto the laser drill. Crashed laser drill. Looks like we should be able to jump over there, right? Be very, very careful with this. This is actually a dead end. This is actually a dead end. I'm going to try my best to show it to you, but there is an invisible wall. I'm trying to walk into this, right? I'm trying to walk into this, and it won't let you. There's an invisible wall right here. The invisible wall extends out just a little bit. In fact, the invisible wall ends sort of like right there. Sort of ends right here on this. That's loud. Sorry about that. On this ledge right here. But it slopes out a little bit. So when you try to jump onto that ledge, you sort of slide off of the invisible wall. You can't quite make that jump. It might be possible to make this jump. Very, very, very difficult jump, though. And if you fall, it's going to hurt. The reason why I said the devs clearly didn't intend this for us to be here, despite the invisible wall, is that you can fall in right here. If you fall in, you're stuck. Stuck permanently. You have to just leave the game. There's no way to climb out. You're completely stuck down there. Interestingly enough, though, if a teammate dies, you got super epic rare loot, and you don't want to risk having to carry it out and things like that, you can, in theory, take the time to climb up here, jump over, and then dump it down here. And if anyone tries to come and grab it, they're going to be stuck forever, pretty much guaranteeing that that loot will be salvaged. Now down to here. This is a little dead end. Sort of discovered a little bush area here. Nothing too serious, but potentially some little ambush door stuff going on and whatnot. Right, whatever. We can get behind this for, again, hidey hole. Secret spot that you can hide behind. Etc. You can't quite get over here. Invisible walls. A lot of invisible walls around this crash drill site. But again, another place to hide and potentially stash loot. A little bit faster to do if you don't want to time to climb up there. And for the most part, there's a lot of these like overgrown bushes that we can just jump into and have a little bit of line of sight out of. I don't know exactly what it looks like for you to be inside of here, but it's pretty seems like there's quite a bit of depth to jump over this right here, crouch in here, hide. And there's just a bunch of examples of that, essentially. You can get inside of this tire and have some cover, and not the best angles to really see anything. Climb on top of this, get on top of this right here, and this little platform, right? Just all this little stuff here that we can do. Nice little hiding spot right here behind this pile of tires, as well as some angles over here. Set up the like epic rat trio ambush spot. And then these bushes here, you can just run into them, and they are pretty concealing. Super duper concealing. I don't think anyone will ever really find you in there. And of course, right, this is all because of the rail system that I just sort of spent time running around and exploring it. So now comes to us being able to actually get on top of the rails. Uh-oh. I'm gonna cover your ears. And as you can see here, get on top of this rock. I'm trying to grab onto this ledge. Oh. Right, big rock. Sort of climb all of it. Climb on top of this ledge? How did I do this? There we go. Oops. Keep missing my jump. Keep walking off the ledge without jumping. And now we are on top of the crashed laser drill. Unfortunately, though, large portions of it are just invisible walled. I cannot jump on top of this. Sort of mantle it. And this is like the only hopeful spot, as far as I can tell at the moment, where there might be some potential of like mantle spamming your way on top of this orb and getting behind the invisible wall. But for the most part, I can't walk over there. Just won't let you. Just won't let you, and it won't let you walk into there. Things like that. But now we have a different angle. Not the greatest angle. Great angle on this, right? We can sort of see on a clear day into the lake a tiny bit. If the meteorite crashes over here, really, really good angle to camp. To camp a crashed meteorite. Right there. Bush cover to hide and things like that. And etc. As well as a different angle on the extraction zone. Again, there's more of the same here, where we just hit basically an invisible wall. Don't know if you can... Oh, you might be able to jump down there. Let's not do that or ruin my video. Be careful, if you can jump down there, you're probably stuck. Probably stuck, right? So, even climbing up here, again, it's just all invisible wall. Just can't get over here. I believe that right there is also invisible wall. We're sort of, and this is where the invisible wall, this is like a straight line basically, where I can't seem to get anywhere over here, etc. And you can sort of see, this ledge is technically grabbable, but this invisible wall extends out into the open air here just a little bit. And that is getting on top of the crash drill site. Now on to the rest. Now I will admit that this is the most significant part of this video. What I just showed you, the crash drill site, as well as getting on top of that rock and the little cheeky hiding spot over there by the laser drill site. Best parts of this video. There is one more area that people might have overlooked just a little bit here. Protect the rail. Because we can. But for the most part, at this point, unless you want to specifically jump on top of this rooftop, there's no reason to run this rail. No reason to run it. It is faster. If you're coming from this direction, if you're coming from the west and you want to get on top of the East Collection Point roof, then you would have to run through this gate, right up over there, and through a second gate, and then up on top, but you can just jump on and etc. and then you're right on the roof. So it's actually faster to do it that way. In fact, we even take advantage of it here to do it that way. We have 5 minutes to get this video done. To get on the rail over here, jump on top of these two boxes. Oops. Need to sprint jump just a little bit. You get on top of this fence. Once you're on top of this fence, you can jump on top of this rail. Careful. You can, I believe, get on top of this rock without using the rail, which then allows you to jump on top of the fence and climb on top of the rail as well. That's an alternative route up. There is no real value on this rail. Other than that, you have a beautiful view of the vaccine labs to snipe down from. But you can also just do it from the cliffside, and it's much, much safer. There are some rocks over here that we can jump on, but they're jumpable from the ground. We can get on top of these rocks from the ground. So this is an alternative way to get on top of this rail right here in the middle of it. And there's no real value here because here's a natural path to climb up and get to that bridge over there to go into the eastern caverns. Things like that. And this is really the final bit. Get on these rocks right here, jump on this and all that stuff, right? You don't need the rail to get up here. You can jump up here naturally. And things like that. Get a little cheeky angle on the vaccine labs. And if you jump from here on like on the highest part of the path into that grass that's sticking out of the terrain, you can jump up here, giving you the ultimate view of the vaccine labs. From here, though, we can make a jump to that rock right there. And then jump over here. Now we're on this cliffside. From this cliffside, we can climb up. And now we're in another place that the devs did not intend for us to be. Now, there's no real significant value here other than you can potentially camp the vaccine labs from this high ground and sort of escape and take cover, as well as camp this area here. But this is a pretty low density area. We don't really care too much about this, but potential advantage point that you can make use of. Be very, very careful though, because just like the fenced area, this is unescapable terrain. If you are down there, you are trapped forever, but a potential place for you to ditch gear and things like that if your teammate dies. You can ditch their gear down here and guarantee that you get the salvage return back on things like that, and etc. Pretty nuanced value. Nothing too significant here, but I think notable enough that I should mention it and bring it up to you guys. Well, that wraps up this video, right? Just in summary, the rail over there at the Eastern Collection, not a tremendous amount of value in the rail system in general, but my exploring of it led to significant discoveries as far as really sneaky places to hide and defend the laser drill site. Get huge line of sights on this entire area around the crest drill site, get on top of the crest drill site itself, and potentially get on top of the Eastern Collection's rooftop more quickly and things like that. Kind of cool stuff. End of the series. Let me guys know what you think of it. Really appreciate it. I am sure now that there is other really, really sneaky locations that we can probably climb on top of that no one's thought of yet. If you find any, let me know. I'd appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the future.